The year is 1546, the place the Tower of London, a cold stone chamber where screams rarely escape the walls, and hanging inside that room is a woman named Askew. Before the torture even begins, knows one thing with absolute clarity: she will not break, but the men standing around her, powerful, terrified of her mind, desperate for control, are prepared to destroy every part of her to make sure she does. They strap her down on the rack. The room is freezing. The torches flicker. The thick ropes scrape against her wrists and ankles. An inhales one steady, calm, almost as if she's preparing for prayer. And then, the wheel turns, a sharp pull. A deep, tearing pressure that shoots across her arms and hips. She doesn't scream. Not yet. The torturers glance at each other. They tighten the ropes again, this time, and feel something shift inside her shoulder. A deep, heavy pop, a wrongness that floods her chest with heat. She clenches her jaw. She refuses to give them the sound they're waiting for. But what happens next is the part history books almost never mention, because this torture wasn't random. It was designed specifically for the female body. The rack didn't just cause pain. It stretched the pelvis. It damaged reproductive organs. It destroyed the very things society believed defined a woman's value. This wasn't punishment. This was a message. A woman who dares to speak can be unmade. And for Askew, the message was clear, but she still refused to name a single Protestant. Not one. So the jailers stopped. Even they said they had gone far enough. And then, something no one expected happened. The Lord Chancellor of England, one of the most powerful men in the country, exploded into rage. He ripped off his robes, grabbed the levers with his own hands, and personally tightened the rack, illegally, furiously, desperately, because this was no longer about confession. It was about breaking a woman whose courage embarrassed them. Anne's body finally gave way. The damage was permanent. She would never walk again. But in that moment when her body was shattering, something extraordinary happened. Her mind sharpened, lying in her cell afterward, unable to move, and began documenting everything, every question, every argument, every tactic they used to try to crush her. She debated her interrogators so brilliantly that even they struggled to respond. Her words cut through their logic. Her faith stayed uncheckable. Her resolve became unstoppable. They broke her bones. But they had failed to break her with the help of friends inside the tower. Undid something revolutionary. She smuggled out her written account, a bold, fearless chronicle of her torture and her unbreakable mind. Those writings exploded across Europe. People whispered her name. They quoted her words. She became a symbol, not of suffering, but of defiance. When the day of her execution came, she couldn't walk. They carried her to the stake in a chair. But she didn't look like a defeated prisoner. She looked like a woman who had already won. And she had done. Askew's story outlived the men who tortured her. It outlived the tower. It outlived the Tudor dynasty itself, because you can destroy a body, but you cannot kill an idea. And that is the flaw inside every system of oppression.